Salam alaikum and peace to you all. I am a member of the Palestinian Solidarity Movement in Bournemouth and regularly participate in protests and actions, all of which are entirely peaceful, to raise the unspeakable plight of the Palestinian people who are suffering, dying and have no voice. For me, this isn't about politics or religion, it's about humanity and justice. On the 2nd of November, I'll be undertaking an individual action in London for 7 days and 7 nights, which I have branded as Stand Up for Palestine, so that you can follow it. The subject is not funny, I'm not a comedian, I'm also disabled so can't stand up for very long. There'll be a lot of content, words, clumsily read poems, interviews with the public and influence if they choose to take part. I'll share the location in due course, but would encourage you to come if you can. I'll be sharing on Instagram and on Twitter so that you can take part and comment if you want to. This is a peaceful action. I'm not looking for a fight and will not harass anyone. Hopefully the responses will be the same. Please follow and take part by using the hashtag. Salam alaikum and peace to you all. I just recently heard of a myth about people, very amazing people in fact, who can do more than one thing at the same time. And I believe it's called multitasking or something like that. So I'm walking along a very muddy bridle path with my walker, trying to hold a phone without dropping it and to go to the shop. So I think I'm on the journey of multitaskism, whatever it's called. Anyway, it's just to remind you that at the conclusion of the National March for Palestine in London on the 2nd of November, which is this Saturday, I'll be doing a sit-in in a prominent place in London till the 10th of November. The hashtag, if you want to follow, and I would encourage you to follow, is Stand Up for Palestine. It will be on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll be doing regular updates. The idea is to peacefully protest. It's an individual action, it's a peaceful protest, very much so, and take the opportunity to speak with the public if they want to engage, and to answer questions and talk to them about Palestine, to try to encourage them to put it in the context of their own lives, what's happening to the Palestinian people, which is beyond description really, suffering so much. And to talk to politicians if they're willing to engage in discussion, to ask them questions, to challenge them on what steps they're taking to hold Israel to account and to stop what many people term as a genocide, which I do in fact. So if you can come along, fantastic. If you can't, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to leave comments on Twitter and on Instagram if you can't, but I'd be glad to see you there. And follow the hashtag, Stand Up for Palestine. Bye-bye. Assalamu alaikum, good morning and peace to you all. Just an update this morning. I have been approached by the Met Police, and they have I've been informed by a particularly unpleasant officer that I was illegally protesting despite my explanations, and that I would probably have to move, and if I don't then they'll confiscate all my equipment and so on, and could arrest me at some point as well. I've been in contact with a solicitor that I had the number for, and left him a message, and so yet to hear. Conversely, the police from number 10 Downing Street, who are carrying guns, which makes me a bit nervous, are much different, and they're very different. They're pleasant, polite. They have that. The guys said to me, actually, we don't have a problem with you being here, you know, because I gave them one of the leaflets and I explained in detail what the purpose of the protest was. I raised the issue of Richard Redcliffe and his peaceful protest for 2 weeks a couple of years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, and so on. So he was much more polite and pleasant, and he said they don't have a problem with me being here. So it's a bit of a contradiction. So I can play on that for sure. And so I'll keep trying for a solicitor, and I'll update you when I've been able to speak with one. I'm so bloody knackered. Big Ben kept me up all night. I couldn't find the snooze button. It was like, I did try and find the snooze button because I thought it was my alarm clock, but anyway, it's just silly. But so I'm pretty knackered, but all ready for today. Table's a bit smaller than I hoped. But there you go, I should have checked before I left. Anyway, I'll update you as soon as I can possibly do so. But I'll persevere with this, and I'll roll out my plan as I had it set in place in the meantime until there's further developments from the police. All right. See you later. Bye-bye. Just another update. I've finally spoken to a solicitor and explained the situation, the interaction with the Met Police today, and the Downing Street Security Police as well. And she said that seeing as the Met Police haven't been back for about 4 hours now, I think, that she doesn't think that any further action at this time is going to be taken. So I should be reassured by that, but to contact her if there's any developments, which of course I will. So for the time being, I'm where I plan to be, and genuinely hope I don't have to move, and continuing with the action. I'm handing out leaflets, few takers, some people just pass by, not interested. I've been offered money because they think I'm homeless. Some people think I'm homeless. Maybe, do I look like a homeless guy? Come on, honest. But anyway, I don't smell like one. Just for the record. Anyway, so I'm handing out the leaflets. People have stopped to talk and have some favourable stuff from other people, and many are actually in favour of what I'm doing, which is really good to know, and valued me providing them with the information as such, like, which has always been my aim in embarking on this madcap camp out, whatever. By the way, I hate camping. I've always hated camping. It's always felt like you're preparing for the breakdown of civilization, so here I am in a bloody tent. But anyway, there we go. It's okay so far. I'm cold. It's still cold, and a bit dreary, but no rain, thank God. And I desperately need the loo. Sorry, oversharing. Bye-bye, take care.
Salam alaikum. I'm just wanted away from my tent for a moment. There's a protest going on at the moment of demanding clean water because the rivers are being contaminated in this country, as we know. But it's relevant. It's relevant because the Palestinians have been suffering from issues to do with restricted water, contaminated water for the last 4 decades, and of course water supplies have been cut off, and Israeli settlers are attacking water supplies to farmland and to homes and things like that, and to settlements. And also the Israeli government, of course, has made it illegal for Palestinians to collect rainwater, because the rainwater, believe it or not, belongs to the Israelis. So there we go. So this is a very relevant march to part of our cause. Anyway, take care. Bye bye. Sorry, apologies. Sorry. Salam alaikum, good evening and peace to you all. Just to update you on today's events, it's been pretty hectic. With lots of positive interactions with the public, but no MPs yet, but then it is Sunday, so probably busy making deals or something. For arms, probably to Israel, I would imagine. But anyway, I've had lots of visitors, which has been fantastic. So I was able to go to the loo and go and clean my teeth, which was much needed, and straighten my hair out. It doesn't look that good, but there we go. And I've had I think it's been cold, but the friendliness and the kindness of strangers has really warmed me up, or at least my heart anyway. So lots of leaflets being handed out. I've had uni students who have taken a fistful and they're going to be sharing them at their universities tomorrow, which is fantastic. And all have committed to coming back, which is over the next few days, which is also fantastic. So it's generating interest and it's very positive. So the other thing I want to do is talk about other things. In particular, I want to, and I know that people in Palestine do access Instagram, and I've got a few followers who are in Gaza and in the West Bank, and I want to address you personally. The main purpose of this live stream is to speak personally to you, because I know that you're going through such it's just such awful hardship and trauma that is just beyond description. I try to imagine it, but I can't. It must be terrible for you, and that's why I'm here. And that's why millions, probably 1 billion at least, across the world march for Palestine, for you, every single week, in unity, wanting a better outcome for all of you and for the suffering to end, and our Western government's complicity in the suffering that you're experiencing. So I want to say finally that we are with you. You may sometimes feel alone, may often feel alone, but you're not. The eyes of the world, or the eyes of the pro-Palestinian groups across the planet, are with you. They're looking at you and wanting to be there for you, be your voice, because you don't have one, and we will continue to do so. So on that note, I'm going to say good night. I hope that you have a better day tomorrow. It's honestly hard to know how things are going to develop for you, but I genuinely hope that you have a better day, and that there is peace, but know that you are loved. You are loved, you're part of our family, part of the human family. and nothing's going to change that in my mind or the minds of so many people across the globe. Okay, good night and peace. Trying to stop it, but something keeps popping up. Oh, that's it. And peace to you all. It's Monday morning, not sure what time, but it's quite early. I was awake at 6 and set up. So Monday, it seems, is the day for technical problems because my phone charger has completely run out of charge, and my phone has run out of charge now as well, so I'm a bit stuck. So I put out a call for urgent delivery of a charger so I can charge my phone because it's absolutely essential. It's got my medical information on there as well, which needs to be accessible. So anybody who's watching this, if you could kindly oblige as well. I can't go onto WhatsApp either to keep my friends up to date. But once the phone is back up and running, then I'll be alright. So that aside, I don't. Anybody an IT expert, do come along. You'll be welcome. So today I'm focusing on arming Israel. That's my main thrust today. It's going to be a theme throughout the week anyway. But there are a number of issues to do with the arming of Israel. There's companies up and down the UK manufacturing arms for Israel, some of which have got the Department of Defence authorization, etc. And you know, some of our tax money has been used to fund those weapons as well. One in particular is EBIT, but we do actually have one down in my neck of the country where they manufacture drones, and these drones fly over. Oh golly, it's not going well so far. I hope the video looks okay because I'm viewing myself on my side, which it's a bit bizarre. I've got a backup tablet. I'm doing this video, so it's a bit kind of messy to say the least. So going back to what I was saying about EBIT, they manufacture drones that fly over Gaza, playing the sound of children screaming and crying in order to draw people out of the tents and their buildings and so on, and they target them. It's just morally reprehensible isn't something I can necessarily use to describe it. I actually can't find the words. It's just absolutely horrific. So that's EBIT, but there are many other companies. I've got information here that I'm going to be sharing with the public if they're interested about other companies that provide arms as well. The other point is that our armed forces have been providing surveillance flights over Gaza, and I'm not sure if it's West Bank as well, but certainly Gaza. There's been 600 plus this year already, and they provide information to the Israeli government, which I have little doubt is used for targeting in Gaza, which is absolutely shocking. The complicity of the UK, our government, ongoing, is just unforgivable, and it must stop. I know that you all agree with me on that point. So let's see how today goes. I've got more visitors coming. I think I've got a contingent of students coming from a couple of universities, and so on. So have a peaceful day, and I'll try and get my technical issues sorted out. Such a headache. Take care. Bye bye. Hi, salam alaikum, peace to you all, and I hope you've had a good Monday. Mine's been very hectic, I have to say. I've been moved on by the police twice now. So I was over there, then I was there, and now I'm here. So, but I've been really lucky because a whole group of friends came to join me, showing their love. It was absolutely awesome, and they helped me move twice. It was so annoying because we got the tent packed up again in the new place after being moved from the side of 10 Downing Street. I'm not that unhappy because the neighbours in number 10 were a bit noisy and raucous, probably drinking and stuff. It is known for that, after all. But unfortunately I was in front of the MOD building and they decided that I was a security risk, bizarrely. A man with a walker and a walking stick is a security risk apparently. And there's so noisy around here. So I had to move again. A couple of armed policemen came out again. You don't never argue with a man with a gun. That's what my mother always taught me. And so I had to move again, but they pointed to another space not that far away. They're actually very obliging and very friendly, I have to say. I know people have a dim view of the police, but the armed officers have been absolutely brilliant, but I think they're different somehow, particularly as they got a gun. But anyway, that aside. Anyway, so like I said, today's been very hectic because of that, but it's also been very hectic with visitors and people coming to see me from the Palestinian solidarity community across the country, really. Had somebody from Huddersfield yesterday, believe it or not, and they're just so wonderful. They bring me food, blankets, all sorts of things, phone chargers, which I did need today, so thank you to all of those people who came and were so kind, bringing things or just being there. People came along that I had never met before, and they were so lovely. Anyway, but Hillary, who used to be a teacher, showed her true credentials by ticking me off and not looking after myself properly. But anyway, there we go. That's fine. Anyway, so I going back to today and the hectic day, had lots of people, lots of engagement with the public, mostly positive, which was fantastic, which is really what I want. But also I respect that other people have different opinions and they want to talk about it, and provided they're polite and reasonable, then I'll talk to them. I'll try and correct some of the things that they're saying, because a lot of them talk about the media and what they hear in the media, but what they fail to realise is that Israel have banned international journalists from going into Gaza and reporting properly and factually. But it's a big Israeli propaganda machine that is feeding our channels, like the BBC, etc., the papers, with what the Israelis want us to think. They're telling us what to think. And a lot of people buy into that, unfortunately, very easily swayed by the media, as we know. Actually, I've been told just in a phone call a moment ago that about 100 journalists at the BBC have lodged a complaint because of the biased reporting about Gaza. So that's really good. It's very good to hear. It's good to hear journalists standing out and being brave, because standing out and standing up for Palestine in this day and age is a risky business. You get labelled, you get called all sorts of names, you get spat at, all sorts of terrible things. And so I really respect them for doing that. Really positive stuff has happened today. I felt really uplifted. I've been told I'm an inspiration, but actually that's not the case really. I'm not a hero, I'm not an inspiration as such. Other people have inspired me to do this. Other people, particularly in the Bournemouth Palestinian Solidarity group, have been so inspiring. They've lifted me up. They've made me realise that I can do things that I never thought I could do, like this, because I'm right out of my comfort zone doing this. So it's absolutely fantastic. I met two, one very large Palestinian family today near Downing Street. They were so grateful for the efforts of the small encampment that I'm doing, but also the efforts countrywide, because there are many groups across the country doing all sorts of different and wonderful things. And they're right, and you know they are so glad that we are being a voice for Palestine. So that should enable us to keep going, because they really, really value it. And don't make no mistake as well, people in Palestine and some in Gaza have access to Instagram and Twitter and things like that, and they do see the messages about what we're doing. They see the videos about what we're doing, about the marches and stuff like that. They see the marches that are happening all over the world. So they do feel like they are seen, and that is so important. That is so important, that we continue to be this voice, that we continue to show them that they are seen, that they are not forgotten, and that people do care, and that billions of people, well, certainly a billion across the world, care about them and march for them every single week. That's what inspires me. It's what they love. It's what they feel. They just feel valued and important. They feel like they're being treated like human beings after being treated like vermin by the Israelis, by the Zionists, should I say. And so that's a really important thing. I have been talking to people a lot today, because one of my aims was to talk a lot about arming Israel. I've been explaining about the different companies in this country who have received, who've been manufacturing arms for Israel under license from our marvellous Department of Murder, as I like to call them. Sorry, Department of Defence. Just around my corner here, where I got kicked off a little bit earlier. So I've been trying to steer the conversations today around that, and I do on other occasions as well. I wanted to keep that as a theme during the week, but obviously primarily I want to talk about things they want to talk about as well, answer some of the questions that they have. It's really important, because it's about informing the public. It's almost a process of re-education and things like that. It's such an important thing that I continue to do that. But I am focusing on the arms issue a lot, because if we can stop that, then that's going to make a dent in the ability of the Israelis to kill so many people indiscriminately like they are now. And like the 17,000 children who have been killed, the many other thousands who have been dismembered and injured but are still alive but barely living and starving and going without water and all that kind of thing. Children over there going without education because their schools have been blown up. People going out without medical aid because the hospitals have been blown up on the pretext of there being tunnels, just like there weren't ones in Beirut, despite their claims. Because the fantastic thing about Beirut, about Lebanon, was they were able to invite the international press, and the international press were very quick to arrive and was taken on a tour of the basement under the Beirut hospital, and they were meticulous in their examination, and they found nothing except hospital equipment, medical supplies, theatres, etc., etc. So that blew a big hole in this whole whole thing that the Israelis have been doing by setting the scene, by adding a pretext that enables them to bomb a hospital because there's tunnels underneath it, a school because there's tunnels underneath it, or they're harbouring, Hamas enclave or whatever, that kind of thing. So that whole pretext, it just demonstrates the Beirut scenario, which I think is actually very important. has been able to demonstrate that it's bullshit. There I go. I swear again. Sorry if I offend anyone, but I'm quite angry about them really sometimes. All the time. Actually, I wake up angry and I go to sleep angry and cold. Well, I wake up cold too. But anyway, that's fine. I don't mind. I've got blankets now. I've got so many blankets. I'm probably going to overheat tonight. So there we go. So yes. So tomorrow, more of the same. And I've got loads more people coming tomorrow. People I don't know are messaging me saying they're coming, and it's just fantastic. The solidarity that I've been shown is absolutely brilliant, and it inspires me more, and it gives me strength and the courage, because I get my courage from other people, not myself, because I don't have it. But I get it from other people, the solidarity and the love that they show me. So I'm so grateful to everybody who comes to visit me, and there's so many that it's impossible. I thank them when they come, and I thank them when they go. But I'd like to name them all, but I can't, because I can't remember names. I'm not very good. It's because of the thing growing in my head that makes me unwell. But suffice to say that there are many people that I'm so grateful to, and we should all be grateful to, for supporting this. It's so important, and and what it does demonstrate, it's owned by all of us. It's not just me. Yes, I'm the one in the tent at night, feeling a bit cold, trying to, when Big Ben goes off first thing in the morning, I'm trying to find the snooze button on my phone because I'm a bit disorientated, and it doesn't work, so there we go. Sorry, that's stupid stuff. I'm a bit tired. Sorry. To all of you, good night, and I'll speak again tomorrow morning, because I'll have power on my phone, thank God. And sleep well, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. I'll live stream in the morning again. I'm going to put together some clips. Well, not clips. I'm going to be putting some bits together for sort of video shorts, if you like, for a reel that's going to be posted by the Palestinian Solidarity Movement on Instagram. So I would recommend that you follow them, so that you can see that too. So that would be a sort of broader kind of stuff about what I'm doing, and probably more of the same too. Sorry to bore you, but anyway, I'm going to go to bed now, because I want to be up with the lark, as they say. There's no larks around here, but up with Big Ben, and fresh as a daisy, hopefully. I want to have a shave though, look a bit rough, but anyway, good night and peace. Assalamu alaikum, and peace to you all. It's Tuesday morning. Sorry I'm late with my live stream, but there was quite a lot of noise going on. They're putting up some hoarding right next to me for the press stand for the Remembrance Sunday event. So they've been drilling and cutting and banging and stuff. And then over there, next to the Cabinet Office, there was a protest by the PCS, who are demanding better pay, fairer pay, and that kind of thing. So it was pretty noisy, plus lots of ambulances going by and police and Nina. So I wasn't in the right headspace. It was too noisy. So I'm here now. So anyway, this morning it's really just, well, today actually, it's really just more of the same. Trying to engage with the public, handing out leaflets. A little bit slower this morning, but then it was yesterday. It'll pick up this afternoon, I'm sure, with people going past. And I've got more people coming to be with me today, so I'll be making them work, so watch out. They've been great. It's been such solidarity, it's fantastic. Talking to people about various aspects of what's going on in Palestine, with some, a good deal of focus on the arms issues. Obviously today is the elections in America, not that we have any influence over that, but it's an important day nonetheless, because obviously who gets in is going to affect the future going forward for the Palestinian people. I'm hopeful, but I'm sceptical as well, that if the Democrats get back in, that things will change, that they will think, well, the election's done, so now we can start doing stuff. Politicians can be a bit cynical like that. I don't want Trump to get in because he's a very dangerous man. I believe that's just my opinion. People may have other views, and that's fine. But anyway, it's an important day. So obviously, there's the issue as far as arms are concerned. The Americans arms industry supply a huge amount of arms, much more than we do, to Israel. So we can make a dent, but not enough necessarily to make a huge difference to the Palestinian situation. They will continue to drop the bombs even if we stop supplying them. Unfortunately, I'm just being realistic. And so I'll be talking about the arms again, and answering other questions and that kind of thing. I want to talk to people a lot more about the number of children, civilians that have lost their lives. I do have a folder with me with the names of all the victims to date. It's in Arabic, unfortunately. We did try to get it translated. It's in Arabic. I wanted to read their names alongside reading Michael Rosen's poem about Don't Mention the Children, which I'll do anyway, but I will talk about the children. I'm steeling myself up to do some poetry, read some poetry. I got a couple of good poems that have been submitted by various people, including my mum actually, and they're beautiful words said from the heart, and art is can convey messages when just some rambling person like me is talking better than that. So I want to do that too, but I'm kind of led by the public as well, really, because it depends on what questions they want to ask, what statements they make, and obviously the response I'm going to make, and that kind of thing. So I want to be led by them because it is about engaging with the public. All of this, the whole purpose of this is about engaging with the public, as well as trying to pressure government. But I'm not seeing any MPs. I don't think I'm going to see any MPs because they sneak in around the back because they don't want to see any protesters. And protesters do gather outside Number 10 on a daily basis. In fact, there's a lovely guy who has got an issue with HSBC. His business went bust and he lost his home, but he's outside there every day, Monday to Friday, with his placards. He bows to everybody. He's a very honourable man, and a very kind spirit. He's talking to me a lot yesterday, and I was very supportive of what we're doing. So I'm not sure about the PCS lot. They're quite noisy, and they sing Nelson Mandela songs, not Nelson Mandela, Bob Marley songs really badly. So I'm quite upset about that. But there we go. What I'll do is I'll live stream again later on, probably this evening, and hopefully fill you in on a successful day like yesterday was, and it was successful despite all the moves I had to do because of the bloody Nazi police. Oops, should I say that? But yesterday was a very successful day. I was really pleased. Had some really good engagement, as I said in my last live stream, and lots of support. The support has been overwhelming, which for me it makes it everybody's deal. I know I'm the one in the tent, but everybody's been coming, being supportive, taking part, doing their bit, talking to people, and it's been brilliant because just being a one-man band is hard work and stuff. I'm looking a bit dishevelled. I could do with a shave. I look a bit like Tommy Robinson was released from jail last time. At least I don't stink of tuna, but I could certainly do with a shave. I need to clean my nails because they're filthy. Anyway, enough about me. I want to thank you all again for your kind support. It does help. It keeps me going every single day. And actually, do you know what? I'd stay longer. I would stay longer, but I have to do a bit of self-care as well because I've had moments of feeling unwell. But this is in the end. This is just the beginning, and I've got other plans in my head now. You know, when you're sitting on your own, you think up stuff. You think, oh, I could do that. I could do this. We could do this. We could do that. Because everybody works together. That's the fantastic thing about it. And you know, we've got an absolutely unbelievable movement, not just in Bournemouth, but right across the country. And the support has been coming from right across the country, even from abroad, even from some of the groups in other countries who are doing the same things. You know, we're part of a massive movement. So, you know, there isn't anything we can't do, as long as it's not violent, of course, but you know, I think we are making an impression. We're making a difference. It's going to take. The hardest nut to crack. Is those people over the road, the politicians. They're the hardest nut to crack. Trying to get them to change their position, to do something, do the right thing. That's the big nut to crack. But I honestly believe that we are making a difference. You know, people in Gaza, in the West Bank, across Palestine, know what we're doing. They see it and they hear it, and that is a big win. As far as I'm concerned, it really is, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're on your own in things. So that gives me the strength to keep going, because we are winning. We are going to win. We are going to win, and Palestine will be free. So free Palestine. Okay, I'm going to go. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye. I'm going to shut it off. Things keep popping up. And peace with you. Peace be with you. Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on my time. It's been a hectic evening. I'm sorry to be live streaming so late. I've had a heck of a day with the police. They came earlier. And earlier during the day, I had some friends here, so I could go to the loo, went to the loo, and while I was gone, the police came. They searched through my tent and through all my stuff without permission. My friends did say that I was coming back, that I'd only gone to the loo, but they continued to do it. So I'm not very happy at all. I've seen the police 3 times today again, and I'm feeling harassed now, totally. That just won't leave me alone to do something very peaceful, and it's very frustrating. You know, with all of that, I'm considering making complaints, certainly about the what was, I would say, an unlawful search of my belongings. They're my belongings, and they had no right. Would actually have allowed them to do it had I been here, but they did it when I wasn't here, and that was completely and utterly wrong. It's really stressed me out. And then this evening there's been a protest in Trafalgar Square, and about some conspiracy stuff, and they decided to come back down this way. They'd had a protest here before. They call this a pen, apparently, where I am. They put all their flags up, and particularly around my tent, which essentially made me associated with them. They're playing extremely loud grunge music, very, very loud indeed. I did ask them to turn it down. One of them, who was particularly drunk, became extremely aggressive, and was aggressive directly towards me, gesticulating, swearing, and so on and so forth. Nobody intervened to stop his behaviour. So I felt quite vulnerable at that time, I have to say. And eventually the police came along. They asked me if I was part of the group because the flags were around my tent, and they weren't. They weren't part of my group. I wasn't part of their group at all. But I was not happy to be associated with them, to be quite honest, because of their behaviour. They were sitting here smoking cannabis, many of them very drunk, and it was just unacceptable. I felt, like I said, I felt quite vulnerable. So I'm a bit twitchy today, this evening certainly. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. It's over and I'm okay. I want to assure you of that, reassure you of that I'm okay, but it has been quite horrible. Anyway, so other than that, all that garbage that's gone on, I've had a good day. I've had friends visiting me again, so kind and supportive, keeps me going, gives me courage. I could have done with a lot of courage tonight, but I did have a friend with me when that was happening, and she was very supportive, which I have told her I'm really grateful for, and so on, because I'm here to do something really important, and it's talking about Palestine, and I want to stay focused on that. I don't want to give the police even more reason to get rid of me, because I'm here doing what I believe is very important, and what my friends believe is very important, because that's why they're all supporting it, and loads of them are, and online as well, on the social media. The support I'm getting is immense. So it's a very important thing that I'm doing, and I want to be able to continue to do it until I leave on Friday. So today it's been a bit different. It's been a bit quieter, bizarrely. Not much footfall at all where I am, because I've obviously been moved. But there's been some engagement, and I've met some really nice people. And in particular, just to say, I met a very nice Palestinian man who's actually an author. He's just published a book about Palestine. It's in French, but my daughter knows French. She's studied French. She can probably translate it, so I'm going to get a copy. And he's also just released a book today about Palestinian wine, which I didn't know about. So that was very, very interesting. But they're a very nice couple, and they're going to follow what I'm doing as well, which is fantastic. And they're really grateful for all the things that I'm doing. So that's good. And I did say I'm not doing this on my own. I'm doing it with lots of support, which I thank you all for. So it's not been a huge amount of engagement really with the public today. So I'm hoping it's going to be better tomorrow. I might move around a bit more when people are here, handing out leaflets and talking to people, because that's one of the primary things I wanted to do. I want to talk about the atrocities that are happening in Palestine, and what we can consider doing about it, what they can do to be involved. Again, putting it in the context of their own lives, which is very important, and talking about the Arms for Israel scenario, and so on, which again is a very important focus of this whole activity, this whole action, which, and I've tried very hard for it to be maintained as peaceful, and of course this evening it wasn't, because of the people who came along. But hopefully, I did speak to the police, and I assured them I had nothing to do with it. I'm doing a peaceful act of protest, and I explained exactly, because it was a different set of policemen again, and I explained exactly what I was doing, the purpose and nature of my action and what have you, and which they took on board, and they haven't asked me to leave or anything like that this evening. But I do know that in these kind of situations, the police can swoop in and just scoop up everybody, including me, because I look like I'm associated with it, because I got their paraphernalia around my tent. So I needed to give that reassurance about what I'm doing and the purpose of it. And actually, the policeman I spoke to was very good, and he was very interested in what I was doing. He said it was brilliant in the sense that It's operating a protest in a different way, in a peaceful way, with the aim of talking to the public in a supportive way, educating, providing proper evidence-based information, that kind of thing. He thought that's a great idea, and he said that's the way to do it. That's the way going forward, and I totally agree with that. I agree with him. So I found him quite supportive. That the people have now gone. It took a while, which is why I'm doing this live feed so late. But hang on a sec. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button here. So tomorrow, I'm going to focus on tomorrow and be positive about tomorrow, because today's been quite negative and quite stressful. So tomorrow it's going to be more of the same in terms of the action and not any kind of hassles or harassment, as I perceive it now, from the police. I'm going to focus on getting the message out there to the public. Obviously having to deal with people who don't agree, but that's fine. I can handle that. But continuing the messages that I have been delivering so far, and providing people with facts rather than fiction that we so often hear in the media, in the papers, and on TV and stuff like that. There's so much to correct, and this, I guess, in a small part makes a difference. I think we need to do it more, because I think it is definitely the way forward. I'm not against marches, and I'll continue to go on marches. I'm going on a march on Saturday in Bournemouth, which I recommend that you attend if you're not already. You can look at the Palestinian Solidarity Movement Instagram account, and that will give you details of where and when and stuff. So I recommend that you go if you can. So I'm going to continue to march, because they're valuable. It shows great solidarity. The public do see it, but they don't necessarily engage, which is why I felt this action was a good way to engage with the public, and I want to continue that in that vein going forward, but also still doing marches and such like. So anyway, I'm going to go because I'm so very tired. It's been a mega day of difficult proportions. It's a crazy town, London. It really is, and I'm not sure I was necessarily prepared for that, but there we go. I get support, and I can talk about it, and I can whinge about it on Instagram, which is fine, great. And I'm going to go get some sleep, up with a lark again tomorrow morning, fresh as a daisy, hopefully. And I thank you for watching, and I thank you for hopefully sharing this with your Instagram followers and so on, and because that just continues to get the message out there, so carry on doing that too. Solidarity and peace, and have a good night's sleep. And tomorrow's Wednesday, which is something in Greek, but I'm not sure, but hopefully it's going to be a much better day, and I'm forever the optimist. And I'm going to put today behind me, well and truly, overnight. And I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll do an Instagram post in the morning, provided there isn't loud stuff going on around me. Okay, so good night and peace with you.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. The tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take when people...
Peace be with you. And today is Wednesday, I think. I'm losing track of time. I had to ask somebody what day it was and the date, so that's a bit embarrassing. But there we go. It's good to talk to you again after yesterday's traumatic events, which I won't go into again. This is covered on the previous videos. But there is a PCS protests over by the Cabinet offices again today. They come every morning, blowing their trumpets and singing. I again feel traumatised this morning because they're making a real hash up of Bob Marley, which is just cringeworthy because I love Bob Marley, so there we go. I'll just have to accept that. But at least they're trying and they're protesting for pay. I respect that absolutely. Anyway, so today, being Wednesday, nothing special about it other than I'm going to be continuing to try to speak to the public about what's happening in Palestine. I'm having some really good, actually first thing this morning I had a really good conversation with a young chap who was clearly on his way to work. He kept looking at his phone and checking the time, but he really wanted to know what he could do, which is lovely to hear. He clearly feels very passionate about what's happening in Palestine. I'm sure many people do, but I'm sure many people are like him, know what's going on and just simply don't know what to do. So my message really is you need to write to your MP, email them, whatever. But I mean, I was involved in a campaign a few years back when I was doing when I was actually working and had a different job, there was a serious issue that came up in the southwest of England in relation to the healthcare system and staff and terms and conditions and stuff like that. And what we did as an organisation is we encouraged our members to email their MP or write to their MP, go and see them at their constituency offices, and we would accompany them and so on. And on a couple of occasions the MPs said to me or to all of them, please stop emailing me because my inbox is absolutely chocker with emails about the issue that you have. And it was a very powerful tool to try and achieve some kind of change in what was happening. And it's a tool that we need to make more use of, and we need to encourage the public to make more use of as well. Because there are many, I'm convinced there are many people out there who really are horrified about what's happening in Gaza and in the West Bank, and now of course in Lebanon, but don't know what to do. And I've been in that situation. I was in that situation well over a year ago, or actually for a number of years, because I knew what was happening across Palestine and the atrocities that were happening for many years before October 7th. Everybody talks about October 7th, but it's been going on for decades and decades and decades. And I didn't know what to do either, and I just stumbled across somebody on social media talking about a march in Bournemouth, and I contacted them. I said, look, I've been looking for an outlet for my concerns and my anger and so on and so forth, wanting to do something, because that's always what I've done. And so I went to the march in Bournemouth, and I've not looked back, and it's been fantastic. The solidarity in particular has been fantastic, but it gave me a route to deal with what's happening in Gaza, across Palestine, West Bank, in Lebanon and so on, in a positive way, through peaceful action, peaceful protest and so on. Many times it feels like you're not making any difference, but we are, trust me. I believe that. I'm an optimist, and I believe that we will win in the end. But going back to the public is that we need to do a lot of work around communicating with the public going forward. It's an effective tool. We need to be encouraging them to write to their MP, to email their MP, so that other MPs get their inboxes filled with people raising concerns. and it's a really important thing to do. Go to, about people going to their constituency office and speaking to their MP. Maybe people from the Palestinian groups, not just in Bournemouth but across the country, could accompany people to go and see their MPs in the constituency offices. Lobbying in that way is a very powerful tool, and they get the message. And if you do it hard, and many of you do it, then it can make a difference. And I've seen it make a difference in the past, because the issue that I was involved in, it just disappeared. It was dealt with. The MPs realised that what was happening was wrong, because everybody, all their constituency people were telling them. It can be very difficult. I'm standing here, and obviously I'm opposite number 10 Downing Street, where the seat of power in this country. And obviously I want to influence what their decision making is and so on. But a big sturdy gate and a number of armed guards between me and them. So I can't as such. But we can encourage the members of the public, the constituents, the voters, to raise these concerns through the means that I just explained. So it's really important to encourage that, and I've been doing that throughout my time here. But it was really, I wanted to highlight a conversation I had with this gentleman this morning. So he's taken a leaflet. He's going to write to his MP, he's going to email his MP. He's going to talk to his friends and his family, get them to do the same. So it's a snowball effect, and this is what we need to be encouraging people to do. So that aside, today, more of the same, trying to engage with the public and talk to them if they want to. But it's hard sometimes, because they're walking past, they're on their way to work or going somewhere, going shopping or whatever. They're looking to the ground, or they're looking at their phone. They're kind of absorbed in the days that have passed and the days going forwards. They have their own lives. Palestine is far away, doesn't really affect them. So it's a challenge to get people to come over, but they do come, and when people do come over, it's a very positive conversation, generally speaking, that I have. More of that today. Obviously talking about the arms to Israel issue, which is a big thing, and as other stuff like the stuff about like the war supplies, all sorts of things. There's so many facets to this situation that I want to talk about. Sometimes there just isn't the time, because people are going to work or whatever. They've got their own business to deal with. They're rushing off or whatever. But I take the time to talk about the important points in summary, really, and encouraging them to do something about it if they feel really, and I hope if they feel really concerned. So it'll be more of the same of that today. Anyway, it's still quite noisy. I'm sure you can hear the PCS people in the background, bless them. At least they stopped singing Bob Marley. And all the stuff is going up for the Remembrance Day events on Sunday. Obviously won't be here for that. I've very proudly, just a side issue, I very proudly placed a cross in memorial to my grandfather, James Graham, who was an Irishman, and he was 21, and he came across to England and wanted to join the RAF. They refused to let him join the RAF, so he flew with the Canadian Air Force, the Iroquois squadron, and unfortunately after his 6th mission he was killed, sadly, leaving my mum without a father, and a very traumatised and distressed wife. My mum wasn't very happy about me coming here. She worries about me, but that's what mothers do, it's their job. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll do you a deal, because I normally lay the cross at the local memorial, I said I'm going to be very near to the cenotaph, and provided there aren't railings around there, I will go and put James's cross there. So I have this in pride of place. I've been assured by some Chelsea pensioners who were walking around yesterday selling poppies that it would not be removed. So it'll be there on Sunday when Kia and Charles, etc. are laying their wreaths, and other people. He will be there. James will be down there looking down on them, not in a derogatory way, but just looking at them. He deserves that honour because he gave his life fighting for the Nazis, another dreadful regime that killed so many people indiscriminately. So I celebrate him as well. Anyway, I'm going to go. Bloody hell, it's getting noisy. Sorry I swore. Sorry. Apologies. Sorry I swore. It's getting very noisy with those things. So I'm going to leave you now, and I'll let you know how the day's gone. It's going to be better than yesterday. I know that. I believe that. I've got lots of people coming, and so I bid you farewell for the moment. I'll live stream tonight, and you can catch up on what I've been doing. Okay? Bye bye. Be with you. Just a quickie, actually. I've just seen Sir Keir Starmer leaving with his entourage to go to Prime Minister's Question Time. I did give him a little wave. He didn't wave back, but I couldn't see him anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to very briefly. I've been thinking about a poem that was written by a gentleman called Martin Niemöller, who was a Lutheran minister or Lutheran guy from during the war, who was actually a Nazi, as a member of the Nazi Party, a German chap who wrote a poem about speaking out. The first time I heard it was at school, and our teacher told us it was about the Jews, but it clearly isn't when you look at the detail of it. I'm going to try and recite it, but it's kind of not the full thing. But basically it's called First They Came, and it's a very important poem. It's something that we should all take heed of the words, and it was about people speaking out in Germany during the Second World War about the persecution of various groups of people. So it kind of goes like this, and I'm doing my best. Feel free to correct me if you want to, but I'll just ignore you. I am doing without script. I haven't written it down, so here we go. So first they came for the socialists, but I wasn't a socialist, so I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. Then they came for the gypsies, but I wasn't a gypsy, so I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. Then they came for the communists, but I wasn't a communist, so I didn't say anything and I didn't do anything. Then they came for the Jews. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything because I wasn't a Jew. And then they came for the disabled. And I didn't say anything and I didn't do anything. I'm disabled, by the way, so it's very personal to me. And so on. It goes on like that. And it ends by saying, then they came for me, and there was nobody to speak up for me. So it's such an important poem. I mean, obviously he was in the Nazi Party, I think he wrote it in 1948. But the words, I would encourage you to look at the poem, because the words are so important. It's about speaking out for other people, like we are speaking out for the Palestinians at the moment. Because you have to give everybody a voice. You have to be on the side of everybody. You have to speak out when you see that something is wrong. It's so important. And to my mind, actually, that seems to be happening less and less. There's a great solidarity movement right across the globe for the Palestinians, and rightfully so. because what's happening is absolutely devastating. So read the poem. I'm not very good at poems. So read the poem and heed the words. Share it with people you know, share it with your friends, share it with your family, because we must speak out when we see that something is wrong, because it's our duty as fellow human beings to our other human beings around us, because we are all human after all, and it's so important. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I just thought I'd do a quick... I thought I'd surprise you and do another live stream, but I'll be doing one later anyway. So have a fantastic day. It's fairly busy, lots of people going past, but actually just looking to the floor, looking at their phones, not really taking any notice. So I say good morning to everybody and so on, and try and catch their eye with a smile and a friendly face to see if they'll come and talk to me. And people do when I do that, so that's great. So anyway, have a good Wednesday, and I'll speak to you later. Welcome and peace be with you. It's Wednesday evening, and it's not been a very good day at all this afternoon, early evening and tonight. I've had numerous visits by the police. A gentleman who came to see me yesterday from the police said that because there had been an issue here last night, I covered it in the last live stream, or no, the last live stream last night rather, and he was actually concerned and came to check that I was okay. He said to me, things are as they stand, you going Friday, that's fine, no problem, we're happy with that, and it actually said phone 999 if you have similar problems to what you did last night. So I was grateful for that, and he's been, I know people have issues with the police, but he was very supportive and stuck to his guns and said that I could stay till Friday as agreed. But that's now changed tonight because a van of police came, a couple of officers came out and said, you've got to move, you've got no choice, you're breaking a bylaw, you've got to take down your tent. The gentleman who came before them, he gave me the number of the case. Apparently I've got a case. Wow, I've got a file. Damn it. He gave me that number, so I referred them to that, and they went back to their van, contacted the control room and said, it's fine, you can stay, you're going on Friday, aren't you, etc. So that's fine. And then within half an hour, they left. Within half an hour, another van load of police came, about 5 or 6 police inside, and God knows why. And they said, a sergeant and another guy got out and said that the control room have now instructed that I've got to be removed. I've got to remove myself, or they'll remove me and arrest me. I got, you basically got no choice. We had a lot of toing and froing. There is video of it. I did talk to them about the Richard Radcliffe situation where he wasn't asked to move on. Why am I being treated differently, etc., etc. And he was in the same security zone as I am. So why am I being treated differently? I said, I talked about my disability, and actually potentially I could make a claim against them about disability, stating that the only difference between, because Richard Radcliffe is white and British and able-bodied, I'm white and British and disabled. So that's the comparator. If you understand the Equalities Act, then that will make sense. And so I said that I believe that there's a claim for disability discrimination against your police force, and I will be following that up. I'm going to get some independent legal advice and so on. I'm going to write a letter of complaint, quite comprehensive, because they keep changing the goalposts. They keep changing their mind about whether or not I can stay, and it's been very disorientating. It's quite a challenging thing being here with my ill health and stuff like that, and the fears that go along with being in London, and after what happened last night with those other protesters who were very unpleasant and very drunk, and so on. And so it's been a fearful situation. I'm not looking for sympathy, but that's the reality. But they have made it far, far worse by harassing me every single day. There's been 4 or 5 policemen coming every single day and giving me different information and things like that about what I can and can't do. And it's been bloody frustrating. Sorry to swear. I could swear more, I could use stronger wording, but I won't, because I'm polite, as you all know. Or not, maybe. I'm still laughing, but earlier I was crying a lot. And I feel like crying now. Oh God. I'm sorry, sorry. I didn't want to break down again. Thing is, I feel like I've failed in what I wanted to achieve. I've got part way there, it's going well, but the police have really messed things up, and I'm just so angry about it. I just feel that they treated me really badly and unfairly, and I just don't know how to feel about that. It's been insufferable, really. I'm here doing a peaceful protest. They know that all the way along. I'm a very sincere, honest person. I haven't lied to them. I don't lie. I haven't lied to any of you. You know what I am. I'm an honest person. I have my faults, many faults, but I'm an honest person. And, I feel just completely gutted. Interestingly, it was like this lady came down from heaven, right? She's actually a Palestinian. She arrived just as things were kicking off with the police. She arrived and I was talking to her. Her name's Feda. She didn't know what it meant, so I was able to tell her because Dr. Zumlot told Feda what her name meant. Feda already knew, but I told Feda, did you know your name meant sacrifice? And she didn't know that, but she was so pleased to see us there, and she was so supportive. Hugged me several times. I cried on her. It was awful, really. Situation. I felt quite embarrassed, but I felt gutted about letting people down. But I did say to the police, "You are letting me down, and as a consequence, I'm having to let other people down." And it's just so infuriating. And it's just, I honestly, it beggars belief, really. But there was toing and froing. They eventually said, well, if you don't remove yourself, we're going to arrest you, etc. And I don't want a criminal record. Maybe I'm weak for not taking that sacrifice. I absolutely don't know, but I got to consider my health in the round, really, and obviously give that a priority. But I went over to the police van because they wanted a decision from me. So I said, well, I'll go. My friends are coming to pick me up from Dorset. They're driving up. It's going to be a couple of hours or 2.5 hours before they get here. And they said that's okay, but they will be back later to check. No, I don't doubt they will. So they're coming. But I spoke to the police in the car, and I spoke to them I was talking about the licenses that the Department of the Ministry of Defence have provided to the companies in this country to supply the weapons to Israel. I talked about the drones at Ebit near Bristol, and about the kind of things that they do, playing sound of screaming, crying children over Gaza to draw people out of their tents and their homes so that they can attack them. And they just weren't shocked. They didn't behave like they were shocked. I said 17,000 children at least have been killed. Many more are buried under the rubble. Many more have lost limbs. Or many more have been made orphans and stuff like that. I said, if you've got children, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? What does that make you think? I'm obviously trying to argue with police who are not allowed to express an opinion, but I want to say, and I pointed to Feda, the lady who came, and I said, that lady Feda, her name means sacrifice. and she sacrificed some of her family because she lost family in Gaza. Her sister was shot dead, and she lost other family members there. And I said, you're forcing me to let people like her down. She is why I'm here. People and her family and her country people, her countrymen, or whatever you want to, the correct way to say it is, you're forcing me to let them down because you're being difficult, you're changing the goalposts all the time, and so on. And I was crying. I'll be honest, I started crying again. It was pathetic, but sometimes that's all you can do. You can convey this emotion that you feel about what's happening. I feel this is a very important endeavour. It's a difficult one for me to take because I had to consider all sorts of things. I came prepared. I thought about my health. I thought, well, I can look after myself. I do it at home. I look after myself by myself. I can get through this. And of course, I've been having people coming every single day, people I don't know, but being so supportive, bringing me food, bringing me blankets, all sorts of things. Anything I needed, they would happily bring. And they've been absolutely wonderful. So I haven't done it on my own, but when people go, I'm on my own. I had to tend to myself and make sure I'd taken my medication and things like that. And in the morning before they arrive, I had to be careful what I'm doing. I had to be careful walking around and make sure I don't fall over. So I'm attending to my health all the time, but I just lost for words. I'm talking a lot, but I'm lost for words. My friend is picking me up with her son. They're coming up from Dorset, and they're going to load all my stuff in the back of the car and take me back to Dorset. And I'm going to have to find a different way of continuing this action. So this is my last live stream from London, unfortunately. I'm sorry to let you all down. Sorry. I really thought I could complete this thing that I wanted to do. But that being said, let's look on the positive side. I've made some inroads, and I've had some really good interactions. I've met some wonderful people. I've met a number of Palestinians, and it's been quite moving, their response, and the response of other people. And I've learned from this experience insofar as things I could have done differently. We all learn from these things, but most importantly, I learned from the people I spoke to. They inspired me. The people I spoke to inspired me, and so that's been wonderful. That's one of the things I wanted to achieve, and so those are the positive things. There is a lot of negatives, I'm afraid to say, and I'm very disappointed. I didn't come here thinking, the police are just going to look at me and walk away. I knew that they would come and talk to me, but not to the extent that they have. It's been harassment. It's been intimidation. They're deliberately trying to undermine my legal right to protest, citing some pathetic bloody bylaw and so on, and it's really frustrating. But there we have it. We know what the police are like. I have a lot of trust for the police. I still trust them to a degree, but I feel very let down. I am going to make a complaint. I am going to make a claim for disability discrimination, because the only difference between me and Richard Ratcliffe is that I'm disabled, but he wasn't. So why are they moving me? I can say, well, I've got a comparator. They're going to have to prove that they didn't move me because of my disability, because there's no other reason why. What other reason can there be for treating me differently? I always said to them, all I want is parity with his case, because it was exactly the same. But you didn't move him on. You didn't harass him. You didn't keep going to see him. And I know that because I know people who were there with him when he was protesting. So anyway, that's another story, and I'll obviously try to update you as I know what's happening. But I'm going to have to secure the services of a lawyer first. But in the meantime, I am going to draft out a complaint with some support, make sure I get everything down, and take it from there. So look, guys, I'm going to be back home. I'm going to be at the march in Bournemouth on Saturday. Apparently, I'm going to be speaking about my experience in London and what I got from it and stuff like that. And I'll happily do that and stuff. So I just want to say the online support has been fantastic on Twitter, on Instagram, and on the phone, and people visiting. It's been absolutely awesome, and I couldn't have got through all of this without you. I haven't been doing this on my own. It's been a massive team effort, not just from the Bournemouth PSM, but from everybody else, because so many people have come from everywhere, and it's been absolutely awesome. And it just shows the strong solidarity that we all have, and it just shows to me that we have to keep going, which we will, and we won't stop. We won't stop, even if the peace just continue to be difficult, which undoubtedly they will. We must never stop. We've got to keep going until Palestine is free, that they get the justice that they deserve, and they get their land back, and so on. That is our ultimate goal, and we're going to continue to push ahead with that. Despite those tossers behind me in Downing Street, and those gits over there in the Ministry of Murder, who keep awarding these licenses to companies that produce weapons that are used against the against the Palestinians. And we know, but they know what those weapons are used for. And yet we still give these licenses. Instead, we should be completely banning the export of arms from this country to go there, because it's going to commit genocide. So therefore, they got blood in their hands. The Ministry of Defence have got blood on their hands, and those people in Downing Street have got blood on their hands. Those people in the Commons, many of them have got blood on their hands, but they're drawing us into it, because they are our government, apparently. I don't feel like they're my government, but they're also using taxpayers' money to fund this genocide without our consent. And all these things have to stop. We have to keep campaigning. We just have to campaign harder and do some innovative things to make them change their mind. I've got some ideas which I'm going to share with the group in Bournemouth, and I'll share it online as well, and everything like that. If you can work with me on that, I'll be ecstatic. I've met many people that are going to come down to Bournemouth and support us as well, which is fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to have to go, because my colleague will be arriving shortly with her son. She's going to have to park on WL Airlines, which has been authorised, just to load up the car with my gear, and I have to go home, which is a shame. But at least I'll be able to shave. I look like Tommy Robinson when he came out of jail the first time, looking a bit dishevelled and growing a beard and smelling I don't smell a tuna. That's the best thing. I don't smell a tuna. You'll be glad to know. I haven't had any tuna, and I do like tuna. But anyway, so I'll see most of you soon. And solidarity to all of you, and thank you for the solidarity you've shown me. All right. So good night. I've got friends here. To show you them down there. There's a couple of them there, and over there somewhere. Let's turn it around. Oh, there they are. So I just need to sort stuff out completely, ready to go, and say goodbye to my friends. So thank you very much, and good night. All right. Bye.